Mike's hot boots on the ground, troops coming heavy with the no-nonsense sound. Ain't no filters, we'd break the mold. Stories hidden, swept away, now they're getting told. Spotlights hit, the tension pops. We ain't here for nothing but the real damn drops. We're busting bubbles, taking names, cussing and discussing, changing the game. No smoke, no mirrors, no curtain calls. Piss on the fire and call the dogs. Steel chairs, court stairs, backstage heat. Legends fall when we bring that beat. Voices sharp, we cutting right through. Best damn team, yeah, you know it's true. We ain't your daddy's play-by-play. We call it raw, we're here to stay. From bell to bell, win or loss. Shoot, don't care who signs the checks or calls the boss. Putting out fires, taking names, cussing and discussing, fueling the flames. Standing tall when the last bell call. Piss on the fire and call the dogs.
Hello, everybody. I want to thank you all for joining us this evening for this edition of Cussin Discussin. I am the Doctor of Professional Wrestling, Mike Blankenship, PhD, alongside me, the Excellence of Elocution, Walter Dixon. Man, it's another weekend for us.
It was another fantastic weekend.
It was
Doc.
indeed. I mean, it was a great time.
As we said last week, the show in Ironton for FTC's Art of Grappling had to be canceled.
It did.
Due to unforeseen circumstances. And, you know, things happen.
It happens. That's why it says right there on the bottom of the poster, card subject to change.
Yeah.
And this time the card changed entirely.
Right.
Which, like I said, you know, nature of the beast. We work in a business that sometimes that is.
It can be a little fickle at times.
It can be a little fickle, and so your plans change from minute to minute. It seems like in professional wrestling, and we've learned that.
But what didn't change was Hollers and Heroes Con.
Hollers and Heroes Con, brought to you by the good people at Time Warp. And I'm going to tell you something. Earl has put out some conventions in his time, but that one right there,
it was a banger.
That was beyond really a banger. That, honestly, probably probably if not my most favorite convention, especially as a quote-unquote vendor.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Goodness. But yeah, June 14th, Appalachian Wireless Arena, Pikeville, Kentucky.
I think I got him.
We were there, and you're out killing flies over here. But we were there, and, you know, had a great turnout as far as that goes, as far as people coming in, and we had a lineup that was second to none.
He's laying here. As
far as Elevate Pro Wrestling is concerned. Had the Elevate Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Appalachian Animal Brutus. Myself, you, Mr. 5-Star Charlie Craig showed up.
Yeah.
And showed off.
Yeah.
And probably caused more headaches than he was worth. At one point, I was rolling because of some of the shenanigans that he was playing.
Yeah, he was.
I hate to say that I actually laughed with Charlie Craig.
With him rather than at him, yeah.
But I did, and you did, and...
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Referee Josh came, and he was there. DJ ALX came.
I mean, back to Charlie Craig,
Go ahead.
As people, as humans, we have a tendency, no matter how good-hearted we are, we have a tendency to sometimes laugh at the plight of others.
We do.
Especially when the aforementioned others are in our collective opinions, worthy of being laughed at.
Yeah, indeed.
So, yeah, I mean, look.
He was not only a thorn in our side, but he was pretty available to be a thorn in everybody's side.
He was determined to be a thorn in as many rear ends as he could possibly be. And there was plenty of people there for him to mess with. So,
yeah, I mean, it worked out.
Yeah, it was good.
Not to mention, like I said, DJ ALX was there, Sheena Dixon Photography, your wonderful wife was there. It was a great time. It was just
Sprite tea.
Double quick water.
It was a fantastic time. We got to actually talk to several stars, indie stars as well as mainstream.
Yes.
We had a extremely good discussion with an up and coming star. He's a star in his own right. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm not going to say any names because, but we had a really good discussion, long discussion with an indie star who is just that. He's a star, but he very well could be on his way to, you could be seeing him on your television screens anytime.
Absolutely.
Long discussion with him. And after that discussion, I was so hyped. I finally said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to attempt it. I took our last Elevate Pro Wrestling beanie.
Absolutely.
Couple of cards, and walked over to Paul White, the Big Show.
You did. I mean, I was impressed.
Gave him the beanie, gave him the cards, shook his hand. By the way, my hands are not small by any means.
No.
But usually when I shake someone's hand, my fingers and thumb can go around the back of their hand. When I shook his hand just completely engulfed everything but my thumb sticking out over the top.
Yeah.
And his hands were not as, I'm not saying Big Show has soft hands. That's not what I'm saying. But his hands were not as, like his handshake was not as rough as I expected it to be.
Well,
like I'm sure he's holding back. Obviously he's holding back.
There's no doubt.
But I expected when I shook his hand for him to not,
be as gentle.
Not be as gentle, but definitely he knew where he was at, and he knew that there was going to be fans of all shapes and sizes and ages and everything under the sun.
Indeed.
So he's holding back some there, and I was thinking, this guy's got his game together. I mean, he's really super, super nice guy, and hopefully one day we see him wearing that Elevate Pro Wrestling beanie around.
He's got it in his possession. And, I had an opportunity to go and talk to someone that I've admired since my childhood, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yep. I take this picture up to him that I wanted him to autograph. I told you before we even got to the convention that I'm not spending money on autographs. I really and honestly, as a vendor, I'm there to meet our fans. I'm not. But we had a little bit of downtime. There was enough people at our booth. I said, you know what? I've got the picture on me. Steamboat's there. I'm going to go talk to him and get him to sign this picture. It's worth my time. It's worth my money to do this.
Right.
And had a good discussion with him about professional wrestling, Elevate Pro Wrestling. Showed him the picture. He was awestruck by it. He had not seen that before, and out of his mouth he was giving me dates, venues, and looked at me and said, do you realize we're actually wearing our street clothes? It's a picture of him and Jay Youngblood at Greensboro Coliseum back in 1984. And but yeah, it was a great time. I wish that we could have had more opportunities to talk to a few of the other legends, but
Well, but on the plus side of that,
we did also talk to Bobby Blaze.
yes, we did get to talk to Bobby Blaze.
Cannot not forget Bobby
Love
Blaze.
Bobby, but you said we, and you're right. We do wish that we would have had time to get around to some of the other legends, but it's also a positive thing that we had so many fans stopping to see us, to see the Elevate Pro Wrestling booth, to see the Elevate Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion, Brutus, and us.
Yeah.
There wasn't really anybody stopping to see 5-star Charlie Craig, but you know,
Brutus had some real fans. I'm gonna tell you right
he
now.
did. He had some great fans.
He had some that literally brought a joy to all of our faces.
Yes. There was one fan in particular that was a young man, I'd say between, 10 and 13?
I would say
somewhere in
so.
there. Fantastic young man.
Loved the
He
sport of
happened to be-
professional wrestling.
Yeah, he loves wrestling, loves everything about wrestling, happens to be a really big fan of the one and only Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's a fact.
And, well, he let it be known in the pictures that his parents took of him with the Elevate Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion, the Appalachian Animal Brutus.
All right, so here's the deal. I don't know if these people will ever watch Cussin and Discussin. You know who you are.
Yeah.
If you could, please send that picture to Elevate Pro Wrestling on Facebook. The Appalachian Animal Brutus would love to have a copy.
Yes.
He actually tried to get up with you all during the convention, and paths just kept not crossing. But anyway, yeah, but got home that evening after we all went out to eat, and did you notice one of us was falling off into La La Land?
Yeah, one of us happened to be dozing at the dinner table, and I don't see that very often, but yeah.
It sure wasn't me and it wasn't you.
Nope, wasn't us.
I won't point fingers or name names, but
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense in,
it's as black and white as the shirt that he wears. I'll just say it that way.
yeah.
But no, it was a great time. We actually got to sit down and have dinner with each other and talk. But you wonder what's going to happen going forward. The Elevate Pro Wrestling, we are booking shows. They will happen coming soon.
Yeah.
I think on the Facebook page, actually on the website rather, it does say Middlesboro, Kentucky, coming soon in July. So date's not finalized on that per se. There's a tentative date, but
Right.
we're waiting until everything is formal before we place dates. And
Also,
yes.
I mean, well, look, we have 3 dates coming the next 3 months.
July, August, September.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have, as for the founding of Elevate Pro Wrestling, we have reached a year.
We have.
As
June
for the
7th.
very first show of Elevate Pro Wrestling,
Anniversary is on July 27th.
right. And we are looking to hopefully have the next Elevate Pro Wrestling show just before that anniversary.
Yes. Did you think ever that I knew we were going to be big? I knew we were going to be top tier, so to say.
Yeah.
But going back to Louisville, Kentucky, our first show with Elevate Pro Wrestling, we had not been in a commentary position since April prior. Did you really think that it would ever be as quote unquote big as it is now? I mean,
I knew it was going to be as big as it is now. I know it's going to be bigger than it is now.
right.
I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is now as fast. as it occurred.
It took off like a bottle rocket.
We have had at least one show a month, nearly every month.
Yeah. I mean, we took
We only
January
had-
off.
Right.
and-
We took January off, and I think we had October off.
No, October we had Red, White, and Brawl. We had
I thought that was
September.
September. Okay,
No.
we had September off.
September was off. October, then we had 2 shows in November.
Yeah.
We run December. January we were off. February, March, April, May.
Yep.
We're going to be off this. Well, we had the convention, so
Right.
technically
We had the
weren't
convention,
off,
so we
but,
weren't off. But
you know, even if you count it as being off, we, you know.
yeah, in a year's time, we've done 9-10 shows, and however you want to look at it, we have been blessed, and
Beyond measure.
we love the response that we're getting from the fans.
That's
we
a
love the
fact.
response that we're getting from the internet wrestling community,
Yes.
um,
And
which is worldwide. This is global we're talking about. We have fans hitting us up from just about every state in the country. We have people from Japan. We have people from England. We have people from Germany,
yeah, we're getting plenty of traction on the worldwide stage.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
No, don't do that.
No. Oh. Nada.
Nada. Yeah. So there's a lot going on, and we are proud to call Elevate Pro Wrestling home.
I mean, theoretically, we have busted a lot of people's bubble that we would actually be around as long as we have.
Yeah.
They were people saying that it would not last. We were a flash in the pan. I mean,
Some people said that.
you know, I know we're at least popular in a couple nursing homes. I mean, you know, that being said, we are.
Some people thought that we couldn't do it because we didn't possess the. We didn't possess the mise en place, all the products needed to make this happen. Because we were warned.
Yeah.
We were warned it takes more than a promoter's license and a ring to make this happen.
Yeah. But we knew that before we started.
Yeah. I mean,
don't let the gray hair fool you. We're smarter than we look. They thought we were idiots.
well, I mean, look, some people think that because they have leashes on several different dogs that they can pull at any given moment, that we can't have our own dogs.
This is true, and we've actually trained our dogs. You know, we don't have to put them on a leash.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's all said and done, all you got to do, like you say, is to piss on the fire and call a dog.
Right.
But no, it's been just a great first year. I know that there are going to be some big shows coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And
September may very well be
September, May.
huge.
It has the potential to rival some pretty big shows. It honestly does.
Absolutely.
And, you know, Mr. Moore always says, spare no expense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're going to do something, do it right.
Yep.
Don't half-ass do anything.
Right.
You know, that's why we know when we go into somewhere, we know exactly this, and this has to happen.
Well, some people like to go into a show. We're going to open the doors at 6, bell time at 7, and they're still putting a card together at 7:05.
And understandable. Sometimes
Well, sometimes you have people that aren't there. Sometimes you have people that, for whatever reason, haven't been able to make the show. They're booking.
Yeah.
But the card should be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
You should only be filling in a spot. You shouldn't be
we got to figure out who's going to wrestle.
Right. You shouldn't be chasing your tail trying to figure out which match goes in which hole, or even who's going in what match. You should only be, okay, this guy couldn't make it. We're going to fill it in with this.
Yeah. Instead of this, let's do this. Forethought.
Yeah.
And then, we got home from the convention. I went straight to sleep.
I did too.
I was done. I mean, honestly, I received a few messages there toward the end of the night, and I'm like, I'm sleepy. I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you in the morning. And then I woke up the next morning, and I'm flipping through my phone, and I see Godfather in accident.
Yep.
I'm like, Godfather in accident? I just saw him yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen him less than 24 hours
When was
ago.
the Godfather in an accident? I click on the link, and it pulls it up. I can't remember. I think it's Ringside News or something like one of those news sites. And there's a video of the Godfather. I'm all right. In fact, what had happened was, and we'll play the video here in a second, but basically, long story short, the Godfather was on his way from the convention. I'm assuming back to Charleston, West Virginia. He was going up 119.
Yeah.
This side of Logan.
Yeah.
Between Logan and South Williamson, basically.
Right.
Williamson,
Probably
West Virginia.
somewhere around Naugatuck or
Little bit past, I believe. I'm not sure. I couldn't really discern from the picture. But it had been raining, and they had hit some water and hydroplaned, and apparently they rolled the Dodge Ram that he was riding in about 3 good times.
Yeah. Turned sideways, rolled about 3 times, came to a stop.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive,
Yeah.
the picture that I saw of that truck. But let's go ahead and play the video for the people.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just want everybody to know that I'm okay. I came out of this without a scratch. It's just really bad weather here in West Virginia. We started hydroplaning. I wasn't driving, but we started hydroplaning, then went into a 3-truck roll. But it's going to take more than that to take me out. But thank you, everybody, for the concern. I just want to let everybody know I'm okay, and I'm still smoking.
I'm just glad that the Godfather is okay. And
he seemed to be in good spirits.
He really and honestly did.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he was probably shaking like a cat in a room full of rocking chairs right after the fact, but as of the video, he is in good spirits. And Godfather, if you see this, we're glad you're all right.
Yeah.
We really are.
We're definitely glad you're okay there.
I guess he's got a new story to tell next time he goes on Undertaker's 6 Feet Under.
Yeah, he's got a new one to tell for sure. Because that was I'd pay money to be able to see that wreck.
I just about bet you that he will remember that as long as he lives.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Something we didn't talk about, though, that happened between the time we left the convention, ate dinner, and went home.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Doc.
I know what you're going to ask me to do.
Reach over there to your left and show the folks what you have laying over there.
I am not. Listen, let me go ahead and say this first. I disagreed with it from the time I heard him say it was going to happen. And that is this right here, folks. The Elevate Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Which, unfortunately, after we ate dinner, we had to stop. We were told that the Appalachian Animal Brutus wanted to talk to us. And when we stopped, we pulled over, got out of our vehicle, my vehicle, met him in the parking lot, and yeah.
I mean,
I've got the video.
There's no way to explain it other than to just show the folks the video.
All right, I'm going to roll this video and you'll understand.
Yep.
I'm not sure, but I mean, this is the spot, so. Wait. Sure. Really? There's no one going to be happy about this. No. Watch this.
I honestly, I didn't have words then, and I don't have words now.
Sad. That's the only. I'm
To know what this meant to him,
yeah.
and to know that after the injury at Warzone, that he felt himself not able to fulfill the obligations of heavyweight champion, that at best he vacate the title.
Yes.
So as of right now, the Elevate Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship is vacant, and I'm assuming, and we've talked to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore he understood.
Yeah, Mr. Moore understood, but at the same time, just like us, he was very sad.
Yes, he was.
Not disappointed.
No, he wasn't disappointed.
None of us are disappointed. We understand that.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to
Right.
do. That's life.
And but to know where Brutus came from,
yeah,
and to see the turn that he made in himself after earning, not just becoming champion, earning this championship the way he did.
you know, I don't think the championship changed Brutus. I think the Brutus that we know and love was always there.
He was, yes.
I think the championship and the adoration of the fans
Yeah.
made him realize how much he actually meant to the people.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, now the title is vacant. And of course, he is going to be out. We've discussed that.
He's going to be out at least through July.
Into mid-August, I believe.
Into mid-August.
Maybe even September at this point.
Yeah.
Because honestly, guys, he took a lick. And,
yes, he did.
I've watched that footage over and over, and how he finished that match.
Well,
is beyond me.
Look, I've said it right here before. I spoke to him just moments after the show.
Yeah.
And he had a goose egg right here on his cheek. And it was about the size of a goose egg or a duck egg.
Yeah.
And about 45 minutes later, as we were leaving, we had packed up all our gear and we were leaving. I go to speak to him again, and that goose egg had become a softball, and his eye was swelling shut. And the doctors were very clear with Brutus that he was millimeters away from losing sight in his left eye.
Yeah. Had that went any other way, he could have permanently been blind.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I understand where he's coming from, though, that he doesn't feel that he can fulfill his duty as champion, and he relinquished this not for himself, not for someone else to step in so much. He relinquished it because he feels like the fans deserve a champion who will be there.
yeah.
But don't get it twisted, folks. Once the animal is healed, we may very well see him coming back for what I believe is rightfully his.
I have no disagreement whatsoever. Of course, Brutus, our inaugural holder of this belt.
Yeah.
And I think in due time, we'll hold Elevate Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship one more time.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh,
Are you ready?
is it that time already?
I figure we better get off the sad stuff.
All right.
We're going to play a little bit of Name That Card. I've got you a card here. I'll read the card, and you're going to guess it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
I suppose I am.
I hope to God you are. And I'm going to read it differently than I normally read it. From Uniondale, New York, at the Nassau Coliseum, Paul Orndorff versus Don Morocco ended in a double countout. For the Intercontinental Championship, the champion Randy Savage defeated George the Animal Steele. Jake Roberts defeated George Wells. In a boxing match, Mr. T defeated Rowdy Roddy Piper by disqualification in the 4th round. From the Rosemont Horizon in Rosemont, Illinois, the women's champion Fabulous Moolah defeated Velvet McIntyre. In a flag match, Corporal Kirshner defeated Nikolai Volkov. In a 20-man WWS versus NFL Battle Royale, Andre the Giant was the winner. And for the Tag Team Championships, the British Bulldogs defeated the Dream Team to win the titles. From Los Angeles, California, at the Memorial Sports Arena, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeated Hercules Hernandez. Adrian Adonis defeated Uncle Elmer. Terry and Hoss Funk defeated Tito Santana and the Junkyard Dog. And for the WWF Heavyweight Championship, Hulk Hogan defeated King Kong Bundy in a steel cage match. Can you name that card?
That was what, 80? It was obviously WWF. 80, was it 85? 80.
It was not 85.
I can't remember the year. 84?
No.
83?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's later than that. 86.
86.
That was WrestleMania.
That was WrestleMania 2.
Yeah.
1986.
I could not remember the year. I was thinking WrestleMania started in 83, which
It
is
was
the reason why
85 was the first one.
Yeah, 85 was the first one.
This one was actually spanned on the same day, April the 7th, 1986, in 3 different venues.
Yep.
At the Nassau Coliseum, at the Rosemont Horizon, and at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena.
I knew it was WrestleMania 2 just from the Piper versus Mr. T match. That's
Piper
all I
versus
needed to
Mr.
know, and I
T.
knew what that was. Of course, Hogan versus King Kong Bundy was also a big draw.
The old blue steel cage.
Yeah.
I miss that cage.
Yeah, that
I love the blue steel cage.
that cage has been repurposed. It's now used, or it was used, I should say, as the inner cage for the Punjabi prison match.
Really?
They reused that cage, painted it to look like bamboo, and reused it for the inner cage in the Punjabi prison match.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've got you a couple trivia questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Which celebrity was in the corner of the British Bulldogs? And I gave you a hint in that sentence.
Which celebrity was in the corner of the British Bulldogs? I don't remember.
Don't care to take a guess?
I really don't remember. I remember several celebrities coming out at different events, but I don't remember. Well, I mean, of course, I was 3 years old, and I've watched it back several times, but I usually just watch the matches. I don't.
Right.
My goodness. Which celebrity was in the corner of the British Bulldogs? I don't know.
The Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne,
yeah.
was in the corner of the British Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Hint being British.
Right.
Here's one for you, another one. What NFL player famously eliminated Big John Studd in the Royal Rumble? Or not the Royal Rumble, but the Battle Royal.
The Battle Royal. Was it LT?
No, it was not.
It was the Fridge.
It was William the Refrigerator Perry
Yeah.
eliminated Big John Studd.
Yeah. I knew it was one of the two.
That
Lawrence
was,
Taylor or William the Refrigerator Perry. Either one, those are monstrous human beings.
they had
ridiculous.
some decent attendance at that show, those shows rather. At the Nassau, it was 16,585. At Rosemont Horizon, they had around 9,000. And at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena, 14,050, I think. No, yes, 14,050. Yep.
Well, I mean, those are big numbers. You're talking about
1986.
30, you're talking about 30, what, 35, 36,000? Or how many were at the middle one?
9,000.
9,000. I was thinking 5 for some
9
reason.
and
But yeah,
14.
talking about 16 and 14
And then
is 31 and then, or 30, and then 9,000. You're talking about 39, maybe close to 40,000 people in attendance total across 3 venues.
And over 250,000 pay-per-view buys for that.
Well, I mean, as much as I hate to even give credit at this point, Vince knew what he was doing.
He did. I mean,
WrestleMania 1 and 2 and 3. It did take a bit of a downturn later on, but
I'm going to give you another trivia question.
okay.
I said on the Los Angeles card, Terry and Hoss Funk defeated Tito Santana and the Junkyard Dog. Who was Hoss Funk?
I was going to ask you the same question later on.
You were indeed.
Yeah. Because I don't remember who Hoss
And
Funk
I
was.
don't understand why they done him as Hoss Funk. Because he was the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Dory Funk Jr.
Yeah.
Why they done him as... Because they had Hoss Funk, and then they brought in Jimmy Jet, who wasn't even a Funk.
Yeah.
And or Jimmy Jack rather, Jimmy Jack,
Jack, yeah.
Jimmy Jack Funk, who wasn't even a funk, and what the funk were they thinking is all I can say.
Well, I mean,
They brought in Jimmy Jack when Terry decided it was time to go home, Vince. My horse was sick.
yeah.
And I love listening to Cornette do Terry Funk saying that. Because he does such a good Terry Funk, it's not even funny. But that was your name of that card. Oh. I got some big news.
Yeah.
I got some big news from our friends. We talked about FTC's Art of Grappling having to cancel this, them guys over there having to cancel the show on the 14th. But I got some big news. And I have it on good authority that FTC's Art of Grappling is in discussion to bring their product to new venues and new cities.
Nice.
So not only is Elevate Pro Wrestling growing, FTC's Art of Grappling is growing as well, and I am so happy for our friends and colleagues up in the other side of the Ohio River.
Yep. We love the folks at FTC's Art of Grappling, and
they've been
to
awesome
see
to us.
them grow is just a tremendous. It brings tremendous joy to us, not just because they have brought us in as extensions of their own family,
No, honestly,
but because all the folks over there at FTC are tremendous people. They're great folks to be around. They have some amazing talent.
they do.
And they deserve every accolade that they can get and
Indeed.
every opportunity of growth. So can't throw that away.
No, you sure can't. And it is great to be a part of that team as well. And we love our family at FTC's Art of Grappling and cannot wait to be back behind the commentary booth at the next show, hopefully.
Yeah.
This week in wrestling, it's been
a good week.
Pretty good week.
Yeah.
WWE SmackDown, June 13th, 2025. Randy Orton defeated LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Aleister Black in a fatal four-way to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. Jade Cargill overcame Nia Jax, Mishin, and Piper Niven in the Queen of the Ring qualifier. Cody Rhodes triumphed over Damian Priest, Andrade, and Shinsuke Nakamura to advance in the King of the Ring. And Alexa Bliss won her Queen of the Ring match against Charlotte Flair, Candice LeRae, and Alba Fryer. Fryer Lawrence.
By the way, there was a
Tubman.
nasty spill in that match. I think it was Charlotte and Alba Fire took a nasty spill to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like one of them may have picked up an injury, but I haven't heard anything else.
No.
So, I mean, hey, I'm happy that no one was hurt there, but that was a tremendous match. Those four ladies put on a absolute just wrecking ball of a match. It was tremendous.
And then the White Six, Loomis and Gacy, defeated the Motor City Machine Guns. And John Cena delivered two fiery promos and then was attacked twice by Ron the Truth Killings.
Yes.
I love R-Truth. I love Ron Killings.
Let me
put some respect on his name.
Pat myself on the back and put a little respect on Ron Killing's name.
That's it.
I called this in March. R-Truth, Ron Killings, will dethrone John Cena. I will stand by this until John Cena is gone. And only once he's gone, if it doesn't happen, will I say I was wrong. Sorry, not sorry.
Hey, no doubt about it. Then CM Punk confronted Cena, continuing their intense build toward their Undisputed Championship match.
Yeah.
Naomi, fresh off her Money in the Bank win, made an appearance to tease her next move, and only time will tell what that may be.
Yeah.
Then on the 14th of June, the latest episode of AEW Collision, Kenny Omega was stretchered out after a brutal attack during the fallout of his contract signing with Okada.
Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, Okada. I wasn't going for the first name because I had to beat him to death with it.
Well, Okada is a supreme talent. The world over, he is capable of putting on an absolute clinic in any promotion, in any country, anywhere in the world. I'm not the biggest Kenny Omega fan. I'm not saying he's not talented. He is absolutely talented. I'm just not that big of a fan. But I've seen this clip, and hey, these two guys absolutely, this was a psychological play that had even my speculative mind sort of guessing on it.
No doubt. Yeah. And then Timeless Tony Storm defeated Julia Hart and got jumped by Mercedes Moné, who had been observing from ringside.
I have been a fan of Tony Storm for a while, but the innuendo that she portrays is really starting to get kitschy. It's getting old.
I just don't like the gimmick altogether. I'm just going to be brutally honest. That whole, it's like she's talking in a wind tunnel when she talks, and I'm like, come on, this is getting old.
And I have never been a fan of Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. Never been a fan.
The only time I really thought a lot of Sasha Banks was when Enzo was in WWE, and they didn't have them aligned, but they kind of crossed paths. Yeah. I kind of seen there was a possibility for a connection there that they could have run with, but that was really it. I mean, I'm not impressed by Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, wherever she wants to be this week. I've seen far better calling action, sitting behind the desk for both companies, actually.
Yeah.
But then Bandito, the Ring of Honor World Champion, scored a win over the Beast Mortis. Mortis, they repurposing names. Mortis. Same difference.
Yeah.
They repurposing names. And in the main event, the Don Callis family and
Hechicero.
Him defeated Paragon and Daniel Garcia. Don't know who none of them is.
I know.
Shows you what I watch for AEW.
I understand the Don Callis family, and I know who Paragon is. I don't really know who Daniel Garcia is. I'm sorry. Paragon is another one of those talents that is capable of putting on 5-star matches in any promotion anywhere in the world, and it kind of pains me sometimes to see some of these talents, and AEW is not alone in this. WWE has done it many times. Talents like that seem to get stuck in a rut and never given an opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. You have the people that are getting the bump and the rub. You have the people that are taking the bump.
And the rub.
Yeah. And not getting a rub.
Yeah.
So, Paragon just happens to fall in the ladder.
Go ahead and take us through the next one.
that show, actually, AEW's Collision, saw a bump in viewership, drawing 397,000 viewers, despite airing opposite the NBA Finals. But, I mean, let's be realistic. Who's watching the NBA Finals?
Apparently more people watching, well, I won't say more people, but some people
Yeah.
were watching wrestling.
NWA Powerrr, June 15th. The most recent episode of NWA Powerrr had Tom Latimer defending his NWA National Heavyweight Championship against Steve Boz, then announcing he's cashing in his Lucky 7 rule for a world title shot at NWA 76.
That is going to be impressive.
Also, a new NWA Mid-America champion was crowned when Jeremiah Plunkett defeated Hunter Drake, Mario Pardua, and Dante Casanova in a 4-way match.
Nice.
In a street fight, Pretty Empowered, which is Kenzie Page and Kylie Page, took down Miss Star and Ella Envy.
You know, I don't know. I like Miss Star and Ella Envy.
Well, I mean, I think the Page sisters are pretty talented, pretty
They
empowered.
are.
I think they're extremely talented.
They really and honestly are.
Also, we've seen Carson Drake pick up a win over Brian Idol. Little sneaky, but, you know, it happens.
A win's a win in some people's opinion.
Yeah.
Charlie Craig would surely.
Oh, yeah, Charlie Craig would have been happy with that win.
Oh, he'd have been happy. He's happy with any win.
Jordan Carlisle would have been pretty happy with that win, too.
Could you shrink his head to get him in the building?
Well,
I hear it's still swelled up.
yeah. And then we seen Father James Mitchell stirring the pot a little bit, claiming Natalia Markova sabotaged her own TV title chances, knowing Max the Impaler was cashing in her Lucky 7 for a world title shot. Now,
Are you saying that Markova took a dive?
that's kind of what it sounds like to me.
I don't know.
But look, plenty of storylines converging there going into NWA 76, and you know there's a lot to be had there. So if you're not following NWA right now, folks, please.
Let me tell you something. NWA is probably one of the better programs right now as far as I'm concerned. I mean, got great stars.
Yeah.
Great stars. They actually focus on professional wrestling. This is what I like. It's what I love.
And we move on to Raw just 2 nights ago, June 16th. Monday Night Raw was an absolute banger. It was full of surprises. Asuka advanced in the Queen of the Ring tournament by defeating Stephanie Vaquer, Ivy Nile, and Raquel Rodriguez. Going over Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez, not taking anything away from Ivy Nile, but those two, Vaquer and Rodriguez, are tough cookies.
Asuka actually made her return.
Yeah.
Raw.
Then we see AJ Styles defeated JD McDonough despite interference from Dominic Mysterio. I'm just going to put it this way. AJ was not going to be beat that night.
No.
He was not going to be beat.
And he snuck away with Dom's Intercontinental title.
Then we seen Kairi Sane declared the winner over Liv Morgan after Morgan suffered a legitimate. This is not kayfabe. This is not fake. This is absolutely real. Liv Morgan suffered a legitimate shoulder dislocation mid-match. Medical staff intervened and the match was stopped.
Do you remember when Rhea dislocated her shoulder?
Yes. Slammed it against the apron and went right back to work. The apron or the table.
It was the announce table.
The announce table.
It was the
That's
announce
right.
table.
But I knew that there was something wrong when Kairi Sane, there was a maneuver hit. Liv Morgan tried to start rolling. Kairi Sane went to grab her and pull her back, and Liv screamed and rolled on out of the ring. And you could tell that there was something not quite right there, and it was obviously Liv Morgan's shoulder. Then we see Jey Uso going over against Rusev, Sheamus, and Big Bronson Reed.
I'm pretty sure that was a King of the Ring.
It was a King of the Ring qualifier, yeah. And the biggest surprise of the night, Goldberg making his surprise return challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Their match is set for Saturday night's main event, July 12th.
Oldberg.
I believe this will, one of two things
Oldberg.
will happen here. Making a prediction. I believe one of two things will happen here. Either this match will become or lead to a title versus career match where Gunther will officially retire Goldberg, or we actually see Goldberg win the championship from Gunther and immediately see the architect, Seth Rollins, cash in his Money in the Bank.
Could be interesting.
One of two.
He's got that briefcase again. He's dangerous.
And we know that there are two people in history who were, from a WWE perspective, historically, two people that have held that briefcase have been seen as an absolute terror when holding it.
Seth Rollins.
Edge and Seth Rollins.
Indeed.
Everyone who was holding a title at the time that those two individuals were holding that briefcase had eyes in the back of their head.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know when those two,
And that's a great thing
when they're gonna
about
strike.
it. You can cash it in.
at any time.
You know, and the Money in the Bank was a big inspiration
Yeah.
to the Elevate Pro Wrestling Next Level title,
Yeah.
which
It's sort of a combination of the classic NWA WCW television title, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and the X Division title from TNA. We do not have any qualms saying that we did borrow from those inspirational
Yeah.
packages.
We did. You know, while we're on talking about wrestling, I do want to take a moment to say this. Guys, if you're watching, thank you so much.
Yes.
From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate every damn one of you. Be it on Facebook, you catch us, or on rss.com, one of those platforms associated with that. Listening
Or on
to
YouTube.
us, or on YouTube, yes. Cussin and Discussin could not exist without you, the fans.
Yes.
And to be honest, in the last 48 hours, this is the last 48, I actually checked the analytics on the YouTube page before I came in. We had over 5,540 views. That's pretty damn good
In
for two
2
old
days,
boys.
in 2 days, two old country boys sitting in a community center in the
Talking
middle of
about
Pikeville,
wrestling.
Kentucky, talking about wrestling. We've received in 2 days over 5,540 views.
I bet y'all can't double it.
If they can double it, I will personally ship them an EPW t-shirt.
Who you gonna ship it to?
I'm going to ship it to the very last person,
They
that
know way
creates the doubling.
There ain't no way we can tell that.
I'll watch it. I can't do that, folks. I really can't. But
Either way.
I will pick someone out of 1,180 plus, randomly pick one person to send a t-shirt to.
Tell you what, let's make it this way. You're viewing it. Go subscribe. We can see the subscriber
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
We can see the subscriber list, and we will randomly pick one of the subscribers and do so. That work for you?
Yeah.
So, folks, start subscribing. There's you an inspiration. Oh, I think it's time we take a break.
Touch that one more time, though. Double it. 11,080 plus. Let's just call it 11,085
Yeah, for all intents
for all
and
intents and
purposes.
purposes. 11,085. As soon as that mark is hit, 11,085 views, we will pick one subscriber.
But you
Send a
got to
t-shirt for it.
subscribe. You've got to subscribe. It don't cost you anything.
No.
I mean, you get free to listen to free wrestling.
I mean,
At
the
least
only thing it
free
does
wrestling.
is, makes us more visible when you turn YouTube on.
That's
So
it.
you don't miss anything.
No, y'all don't want to miss us. Come on. Hang around there. I mean, it's what it is. Tell you what, let's go ahead and get ready. Take us a break.
Yep.
And we will be back with more Cussin and Discussin right after this. All right, folks, we are back.
We are back. Doc, did you turn your pager
I
on?
did. I turned my pager on. I know you've got me somebody.
As always, Doc, you are on call. The game is 20 questions. The floor is yours.
You know something? Before we start,
Yeah.
I think you ought to pick a secret word. And if I say the secret word, do like you did last time and squall out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But okay, 20 questions to me. Where was this person billed from?
Pearl River, Mississippi.
This is too easy.
It might be.
This is the Pearl River Powerhouse, Ahmed Johnson.
That is correct. Anthony Norris, born June 6, 1963, Kokomo, Indiana. A graduate of University of Tennessee. 5 children.
One of, or he had 5?
He has 5.
Oh,
Known as Ahmed Johnson, Big T, Mo Dib, Nightbreeder, Black Superman, Siva, Tony Norris, and Ahmed Williams. 6'5", 320 pounds. Trained by, any guesses? 2 legends.
Larry Sharp?
No,
No?
surprisingly.
Who?
Larry Sharp's trained a lot. Skandar Akbar and Ivan Putski.
Interesting. The Polish powerhouse, Polish hammer, Ivan Putski.
Give a rundown of his accomplishments.
Go ahead.
And championships. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 5 of the top 500 singles wrestlers in 1996. They also ranked him number 380 of the 500 best singles wrestlers of the PWI years. And most improved wrestler of the year in 1996. For Texas All-Pro Wrestling, he was the TAP Heavyweight Champion 1 time. The U.S. Wrestling Association, he was the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Champion 1 time. For the World Wrestling Federation, WWF Intercontinental Champion 1 time. Kuwait Cup winner, Slammy Award winner 1 time. That award was for New Sensation of the Squared Circle, 1996. And Wrestling Observer Newsletter gave him worst on interviews in 1996 and in 97.
No doubt about it.
Norris grew up in Florida before taking up residence in Houston, Texas with his daughter Nina. After retiring, he returned to college and earned a degree in criminology. In July of 16, he was named as part of a class action lawsuit against WWE, which alleged that wrestlers incurred traumatic brain injuries during their tenure and that the company concealed the risks of injury. The suit was litigated by attorney Konstantin Kairos, who has been involved in a number of other lawsuits against WWE. U.S. District Judge Vanessa Lynn Bryant dismissed that lawsuit in September of 2018. How many WWF WWE games was Ahmed Johnson a playable character? Prefab, not, because in these new games you can download created characters from all over the world and you can get just about anyone.
One.
Could you name it?
Name it. I had it.
Which one?
Warzone.
He was available in Warzone. He was also available in one other game.
Attitude?
WWF In Your House. And by the way,
What was that all about?
Attitude.
Attitude?
Yeah.
I said the secret word.
He was in, wow, didn't know that. 2 movies. Witness to the Execution, 1994. He played a character known as Reggie Foster. And he played Suge Knight in Too Legit, the MC Hammer story in 2001. Also made an appearance, 1993, in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger, where he was Bruno. That episode was titled Unfinished Business.
Interesting.
Would you care to take a guess as to the year and promotion in which he debuted?
$1994 USWA?
Nope. Earlier.
Really? 1990?
89.
Really?
Yeah. He floated around the Indies for a couple years, eventually debuting in Global Wrestling Federation
GWF.
as Moadib. In 1995, he worked for NWA Dallas, feuding with John Hawk for the NWA North American Heavyweight Championship. He also toured Japan that year with Big Japan Pro Wrestling.
Can you tell me who John Hawk was?
No, I can't.
I think you know who he was. If I'm not mistaken, John Hawk became Justin Hawk Bradshaw, who became John Bradshaw, who became Bradshaw, who became John
Yes.
Bradshaw Layfield.
You are correct. That is, John Hawk did become John Bradshaw Layfield.
Yep.
I clicked it there, and it started to try to load. In the World Wrestling Federation, Norris, a.k.a. Ahmed Johnson, debuted in 1995, mid-95, at a house show in Houston, Texas. He was at that time known as Tony Norris, defeated Rico Suave in his first match. After being signed, he was given the name Ahmed Johnson, made his pre-television debut at In Your House 3, September 24th, 1995, in Saginaw, Michigan. He went on to beat Skip in a non-televised match. His television debut came October 23rd, 1995, in an episode of Raw. Prior to his televised match, he appeared at the end of Raw taping by entering a post-match brawl and slamming who? It was a
1995.
It was a worthy feat to slam this person.
That would be Yokozuna.
Yokozuna.
Becoming, well, he wasn't the first person to do it. I don't know that he was.
No, he wasn't the
second.
first. No. it was still a worthy feat. It was
Oh,
something
yeah,
that
and
was,
well, let's just be realistic. Even if Yoko wanted you to slam Yokozuna,
yeah.
it was a worthy
Well,
feat
Lex
to do.
Luger said that when he was to slam Yoko on the ship,
Yeah, on the Intrepid.
that he was wearing those cowboy boots and he couldn't get any grip, any traction. And he told Yoke when he started to pick him up, he said, "Can't do it, man. I can't. These boots, I ain't got no traction." And Yoke said, "It's okay, bruh. Just,
I got this,
fake
basically.
this and I'll do it. Just go up and I'll take care of it."
Yeah.
And if you watch as he goes up, Yoke jumps and posts up against Luger's thigh heavily, and Yoke just kind of turns him and dumps him,
Yeah.
and that's it. Let's see. Ahmed made his pay-per-view debut at what WWE, WWF Big Four pay-per-view?
SummerSlam.
No,
Survivor
Series. The team of Razor Ramon, Yokozuna, Owen Hart, and Dean Douglas took on the team of Ahmed Johnson, Shawn Michaels, Sid, and the British Bulldog. In the end, Johnson, Michaels, and Bulldog won the match as the survivors of their team, with Ahmed Johnson eliminating both Owen Hart and Yokozuna by pinfall. At Season's Beatings, December 17th, Johnson defeated Buddy Landell in only 42 seconds.
Nature Boy Buddy Landell.
He was then interviewed in ring by who?
What year?
This would have been 95, 96.
Sonny.
Nope.
Who?
He was interviewed by Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler distracted Ahmed Johnson, allowing Double J Jeff Jarrett to attack him, starting a feud between the two. And then at the 1996 Royal Rumble, Johnson defeated Jarrett by disqualification after Jarrett struck him with a guitar, causing Johnson to be hospitalized with a concussion. That was shoot. And then at WrestleMania 12, Camp Cornette consisted of who?
Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Yokozuna.
No.
Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett.
Nope.
Who?
Camp Cornette was Vader, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog. They took on the team of Ahmed Johnson, Yokozuna, and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yes, that's when Yoko had his baby run.
Yeah. Vader pinned Roberts with the Vader Bomb. That's Camp Cornette won. At Good Friends, Better Enemies on April 28th, Roberts and Johnson teamed up to take on Owen Hart and British Bulldog. Jim Cornette had the referee distracted. Bulldog hit him in the knee with Cornette's tennis racket and forced Roberts to submit with a single leg Boston Crab. After the match, Roberts and Johnson attempted to put the Python Revelations on Cornette, but Hart pulled Cornette out of the ring. Johnson's first accomplishment came when he won the first WWF Kuwait Cup tournament, May 12, 1996 in Kuwait City. What other accomplishment did, well, it's an accessory to an accomplishment in his WWE career?
I don't know.
We already said Ahmed Johnson was an Intercontinental Champion.
Right.
Yep. He was the first African American Intercontinental Champion.
You know, I'm going back through right now.
Oh, yeah, I know you are.
He was. He was indeed the first African American Intercontinental Champion. Wrestling. Whew. We talk a lot about that, don't we?
We do. What are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? Listen, it's like this. The Doctor of Professional Wrestling has some plans. Big plans. I'm going out this weekend. I got us a date.
Oh.
Listen, you call it what you want, to a date, dinner, what have you.
Yeah.
I do. And it's person I'm going to be out with has a personality so wonderful and so bubbly. She makes champagne look bad. Just saying.
Well, folks, you heard that here first.
I tell it.
We have some coming events, though.
We do.
Other than your night on the town.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. All-Star Wrestling West Virginia Coal Fest Chaos. June 20th, West Virginia Coal Fest in downtown Madison. Starts at 5 p.m. I'm assuming that's meet and greet 5 p.m. bell time, 7?
Yeah.
It's 5 to 7 is what the flyer says?
Yeah.
Appalachian Championship Wrestling. For those about to rock, this is a free show. June 26, 2025. Buffalo Wild Wings, 214 Crossroad Drive, Mount Hope, West Virginia. Meet and greet at 6:30, bell time at 7. Then the Great Freedom Fest Bash, All-Star Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling West Virginia, Appalachian Championship Wrestling, and Power Slam Pro presenting this one June 27th, 2025 in downtown Logan, West Virginia. It's a free event, starts at 6 p.m. Takes through the rest of it.
Appalachian Championship Wrestling, Cruel Summer, another free show taking place July 15th, 2025, Putnam County Fair, Putnam County Fairgrounds, Route 62, Park Road in Eleanor, West Virginia. Meet and greet at 6:30, bell time at 7. And Appalachian Championship Wrestling, There's Only One Way to Rock, another free show the very next night, July 16th, 2025 at the Putnam County Fair. Again, at the Fairgrounds, Route 62, Park Road, Eleanor, West Virginia. Meet and greet at 6:30, bell time at 7. And as always, Doc, card subject to change.
Yeah, any show card subject to change. We just like to talk about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of talking about things, we got some people to talk about.
We do.
We do. I want to say a good thank you for the wonderful weekend at Hollers and Heroes Con, to our good friends Earl and the gang down at Time Warp. Got a great location out there at the mall, outside, just right beside the Panera Bread. You all go out there, see Earl. He got some great things going on. I saw today that, and forgive me on the date, I'm wanting to say July 20th. I'm wanting to say July 20th, but you all check Facebook. I may be wrong on this date. If so, I'll correct myself next time. The Devil's Favorite Demon is going to be at Time Warp. That's right, the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee himself, Glenn Jacobs Kane, is going to be at Time Warp in Ashland, Kentucky. I also want to thank our good friends out at Walk in Time. It was great seeing JR and his bunch over there at Hollers and Heroes Con. Actually, he's the one that took the picture of me with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Nice.
So, JR, thank you so much for that moment. I appreciate it, I really do. They're at 1626 6th Avenue in Charleston, West Virginia. And take us through the rest of it.
Big shout out to our new friends, the Indy Wrestling Experience.
We have not forgot you all.
We definitely have
We're
not forgot
actually going
you.
to talk about that after we get done.
We're going to have a few moments before we have to pack up here this evening, and we will definitely narrow that down and get back with you guys, hopefully with a date and time that we can do that.
Yes.
Also, big shout out to our great friends at the Wrestling Society Network, WrestlingSocietyNetwork.com, the Wrestling Society Network on Facebook, and check out their app on Roku, Apple, Amazon. Folks, I've said it 1,000 times, it feels like, but they have put so much work into bringing together hours and hours and hours of wrestling-related content into one space. Please go check out their website, thewrestlingsocietynetwork.com. And also, big shout out to my wonderful wife, Sheena Dixon at Sheena Dixon Photography for all your photography needs in the tri-state area. Check her out on Facebook at Sheena Dixon Photography. Weddings, graduations, any sort of family gatherings, ceremonies, birthdays, whatever the case may be.
You know, she takes the good pictures. I hear her tell that over there at the jailhouse, they want her to come in and take mug shots.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. I will say this. We were asked, a really good friend of ours in the wrestling community wanted some pictures from a recent show, and she has a great many of them already posted on the Elevate Pro Wrestling Facebook page, but there's still some she hasn't been through. And Doc, she took over 5,000 photos at that show.
That would, hey, no doubt about it. That woman, she works harder than any of us, honestly.
Works harder than an ugly stripper.
And indeed. Hey, that's what the decal on my back window says. I work harder than an ugly stripper. Yeah. But no, you know, and as always, like I said, we are available on Facebook. We're available on YouTube. You're watching us now. If you're listening to us, that is courtesy of RSS.com on one of the multiple platforms that we are on. So if you have us in your listenings, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Like I said, we're growing and we're going to do this, but without you, it ain't happening, and we need y'all. Hope you all enjoy the new intro video. The new intro theme song, I actually like it.
I enjoy it. I really like it.
You know, it's us.
Yeah.
It is us. And is there anything else you can think of that I missed? I mean, I'm
No, Doc, I think we're pretty much ready to piss on the fire and call the dogs
well,
at this point.
you said it. So with that being said, for the excellence of elocution, Walter Dixon, I'm the doctor of professional wrestling, Mike Blankenship, PhD, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, and I ain't killed this weekend. We'll be back with you next week for more cussing and discussing. As always, until next time, so long from the Bluegrass State.